6433. You receive a flashing white light from the control tower during run-up prior to takeoff. What action should you take? A. Taxi clear of the runway in use. B. Return to your starting on the airport. C. None. This light signal is applicable only to aircraft in flight. The correct answer is B. If you receive a flashing white light from the control tower during run-up prior to takeoff, you should return to your starting point on the airport. During the pre-takeoff phase, it is important for pilots to be aware of any light signals received from the control tower. The correct option states that if you receive a flashing white light during run-up, you should return to your starting point on the airport. A flashing white light signal during this phase of flight indicates that there is an issue or condition that requires your attention before proceeding with takeoff. It could be a signal from the control tower to communicate a specific instruction or to alert you to a potential problem with the aircraft or its equipment. In response to the flashing white light, you should discontinue the run-up procedure and taxi back to your original starting point on the airport. This allows you to communicate with the control tower or airport authorities to address the issue or obtain further instructions. Returning to your starting point provides an opportunity to assess the situation, consult with the appropriate personnel, and ensure that any concerns or problems are resolved before continuing with your flight. It is crucial for pilots to understand and adhere to the light signals provided by the control tower. These signals serve as an important means of communication to enhance safety and ensure smooth operations at the airport. In summary, if you receive a flashing white light from the control tower during run-up prior to takeoff, the correct action is to return to your starting point on the airport. This allows you to address any issues or concerns indicated by the signal and seek further guidance from the control tower or airport authorities. 6471. If an aircraft is not equipped for night flight and official sunset 1730 EST, the latest a pilot may operate that aircraft without violating regulations is A. 1629 EST, B. 1729 EST, C. 1829 EST. The correct answer is B. If an aircraft is not equipped for night flight and the official sunset is at 1730 EST, the latest a pilot may operate that aircraft without violating regulations is 1729 EST. When an aircraft is not equipped for night flight, there are specific regulations regarding the permissible duration of flight after sunset. The correct option states that the latest time a pilot may operate the aircraft without violating regulations is 1729 EST, which is 1 minute before the official sunset time of 1730 EST. According to regulations, night flight is defined as the period of time from the end of evening civil twilight to the beginning of morning civil twilight. Civil twilight refers to the time when the center of the sun is 6 degrees below the horizon, and it is usually calculated based on official sunset and sunrise times. For an aircraft that is not equipped for night flight, the regulations mandate that the aircraft must be on the ground before the end of evening civil twilight. Therefore, the latest permissible time for the aircraft to operate is 1 minute before the official sunset time. In the given scenario, with an official sunset time of 1730 EST, the correct answer is 1729 EST. It is important for pilots to be aware of the specific regulations and adhere to them to ensure compliance with safety requirements and avoid any violations. To summarize, if an aircraft is not equipped for night flight and the official sunset time is 1730 EST, the latest time a pilot may operate the aircraft without violating regulations is 1729 EST, 1 minute before the official sunset time. It is crucial for pilots to be knowledgeable about the applicable regulations and follow them to maintain safe and compliant operations. 6463. Which is required equipment for aircraft during VFR night flights? A. Magnetic compass. B. Sensitive altimeter and landing light. C. VHF radio communications equipment. The correct answer is A. The required equipment for aircraft during VFR, visual flight rules, night flights includes a magnetic compass. During VFR night flights, pilots are required to have certain equipment on board to ensure safe operations and comply with regulations. The correct option states that a magnetic compass is one of the necessary equipment items. A magnetic compass is a vital instrument that provides essential information about the aircraft's heading or direction of flight. It is particularly important during nighttime operations when visual references may be limited. The compass helps the pilot maintain proper orientation and navigate accurately. While other equipment such as a sensitive altimeter, landing light, and VHF radio communications equipment may be valuable for various flight situations, they are not specifically required for VFR night flights. The key instrument specified as mandatory is the magnetic compass. To summarize, when conducting VFR night flights, it is necessary for aircraft to be equipped with a magnetic compass. This instrument aids in maintaining proper heading and orientation, particularly during nighttime operations when visual references may be reduced. Pilots should ensure that their aircraft is properly equipped and that the required instruments are functioning correctly before undertaking VFR night flights. 6465. What is the maximum distance from an airport that an aircraft engaged in training operations may be without an emergency locator transmitter? A. 25 nm. B. 50 nm. C. 100 nm. The correct answer is B. The maximum distance from an airport that an aircraft engaged in training operations may be without an emergency locator transmitter, ELT, is 50 nm, nautical miles. An emergency locator transmitter is a device installed in aircraft that can emit a distress signal in the event of an emergency or crash. It helps search and rescue teams locate the aircraft more quickly. While ELTs are generally required for most aircraft, there are certain exceptions for training operations. According to regulations, an aircraft engaged in training operations, such as flight instruction or practice flights, may operate without an ELT if it remains within 50 nm of an airport. This means that the training aircraft must stay within a 50 nm radius of an airport during its training activities. It's important to note that this exception applies specifically to training operations and not to other types of flights. For most other operations, including general aviation flights, an ELT is typically required regardless of the distance from an airport. To summarize, the correct option states that an aircraft engaged in training operations may be a maximum of 50 nm away from an airport without an emergency locator transmitter, ELT, installed. Pilots and flight instructors should ensure they comply with all applicable regulations regarding ELT requirements based on the type of operation they are conducting. 6466. How long may an aircraft be operated after the emergency locator transmitter has been initially removed for maintenance? A. 90 days. B. 30 days. C. 7 days. The correct answer is A. An aircraft may be operated for up to 90 days after the emergency locator transmitter, ELT, has been initially removed for maintenance. The ELT is an important safety device installed in aircraft that can emit a distress signal in the event of an emergency or crash. Sometimes, the ELT needs to be temporarily removed for maintenance or inspection purposes. According to regulations, after the ELT has been initially removed for maintenance, the aircraft can continue to operate without the ELT for a period of up to 90 days. This means that during this time frame, the aircraft can be flown without the ELT installed, as long as it is not required for other regulatory reasons. It's important to note that this provision applies specifically to the initial removal for maintenance. If the maintenance period extends beyond 90 days, or if subsequent removals are necessary, additional regulatory requirements and procedures may apply. To summarize, the correct option states that an aircraft may be operated for up to 90 days after the emergency locator transmitter, ELT, has been initially removed for maintenance. Pilots and aircraft operators should ensure they comply with all applicable regulations regarding ELT installation and maintenance.